Launching an online course is no joke. It can be scary and nerve-wracking, especially if it's your first time doing one. So if you're planning to launch your first or the next online course, you're in luck because in this video, I'm going to share with you the 7 steps I did to make $120,000 from my first online course launch, as well as the lessons I've learned throughout the entire process. I'll be sharing the step-by-step process I did, so stick to the end for the juiciest part. Plus, I'm also revealing some secrets that I haven't shared anywhere else. So grab that pen and paper, take notes, and let's dive right in. Step number 1, grow your audience. At the time, I know I will be selling a hand lettering course, so I need to get in front of the people who might be interested to learn hand lettering. I need to find out where they're hanging out so I can show them how I can be of help. I used blog and Instagram to grow my audience. The first thing I did was to actually write 12 blog posts about lettering and the business of lettering. But of course, with every blog post, if you want to get seen, you need to get traffic or the posts will be meaningless. So I used Pinterest to draw traffic to my blog posts, and that really helped get people to see me as the person who can help them learn hand lettering. Then, I started showing up more on social media, particularly on Instagram. From my daily posts, I did twice-a-day posts at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., which showed tremendous result in terms of growing my following. I shared everything I know about hand lettering and everything I wanted to know when I was a beginner. I knew firsthand how difficult it was to learn lettering, and most lettering artists are scared of having competition, so no one was actually teaching the secret sauce. So I gave them all for free, and that opened the floodgates to more people trusting me. Because as a beginner, I didn't know what to share and what not to share. Basically, I was just giving generously so people will start trusting me. I made my audience my number 1 priority more than anything else. Because of my blog posts and my Instagram posts, I started getting more traction and attention, including podcast interview invitations, which helped me get in front of more people faster. So if you're not getting seen yet or you have less engagement on your content, here are some of the things you can start doing. 1. Identify your target market. You have to know the people you want to work with, because if not, you'll end up posting anything and everything and they won't get you anywhere. And this process can be really tricky. A lot of people may have told you about finding a niche or identifying your niche, like what I'm talking about right now. But the thing is, it's really difficult to find a niche. Even I struggled with it for quite some time. I started thinking about lettering artists, and it took me a while to be able to narrow it down further to I want to help the beginners, those who want to learn lettering from scratch, those who did not know the rules and whatnot because no one liked to talk about them, and I think it will solve a lot of these questions I am getting on social media. The lessons I got from this? Sometimes identifying niche doesn't mean you only need to figure out the who. If you're having a difficult time trying to find out who needs your offer, try this instead. Identify the problem you want to solve. This way, you can focus on what you're good at and solve problems using your skills and expertise. People are often drawn to those who can solve their problems. You won't have to worry about the who because they will come to you. Then, create content targeted to your niche or the problem you're solving. You have to remember that the content you're creating will direct people to the course you're trying to sell. So focus on the market that you're serving and the problems you're solving and nothing more. And third, spread the word. Your content will mean nothing if no one sees them, so don't stop at creating. Be sure to promote your content to as many people as possible. Ask people you know to share it. Those are already in your circle, like family, friends, friends of friends, or your followers. Now that you're starting to get more eyeballs, it's time for the next step on how I made $120,000 from my first course launch. It's step 2, and that is to build your email list. You can make money from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms, but you'll make the most money from your email list. And we've proven this so many times in our business and that of our clients. If you don't believe me, just look at the most successful launches in history by Jeff Walker, Marie Forleo, Amy Porterfield, and many others. What do they all have in common? They build a launch list, which is a collection of email addresses of people that are interested in what they're offering. They don't take for granted their list building activities because they know pretty well that the success of their launch depends on it. I did the same thing. I know I'll be launching a course in a few months, so I made an effort to start collecting lists, and this is how I did it. First, I had a lead magnet. I know I'll be selling a lettering course, and I had a free guide that I created a few months back on how to draw letters from scratch. It was relevant to what I was offering, and it was the perfect gateway to get people to subscribe to my list. So, I improved the guide and started promoting it even more. I shared it in every place I could: Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. And at the time, Facebook ads were a bit simpler and cheaper than what it is now, so I used paid ads as well. The list grew fast because the freebie I had was something that people are craving: a step-by-step process on drawing letters from scratch. Now, you don't have to do Facebook ads, especially if you're not making money from your business yet. There are many ways to grow your list faster these days, given the many platforms that we have now, such as Instagram and TikTok. Focus on helping your audience more and they will spread the word about your freebie. Now, here's a little secret I've learned when I was trying to build my list, and I haven't shared it until now. I thought it was impossible to grow my list fast. I was a nobody. I have less than 6,000 followers in Instagram and my list is back to 0. And while the ads were helpful, there was another thing that really did the work and I didn't have to spend a penny on it. Want to know what it is? I sent my freebie to some letterers that have bigger followers than I did. I told them that the freebie can help their audience learn the basics of hand lettering, and if they want to share it with them, I'll be thankful. And if not, we'll still be friends. I even asked them for a testimonial if they liked it and added those testimonials to my landing page. That helped build trust quickly because the people I reached out to have been quite known in the industry. So here are your action steps to start building your email list using this secret. 1. Create a lead magnet. Make it something useful for your target market. The key is to give and serve first so you can build a relationship with your ideal clients. That lettering freebie taught people how to letter from scratch. It contains 80% of the information they need to get started, and yet, many of them still paid for my course. When you create something awesome, people want to have more, so don't settle on giving less simply because you think they will not come back to buy the paid course. When you help people, they reciprocate your generosity and build a trust a lot faster. 2. Leverage other people's audience. You don't have to do it all alone. Look for people who can help you build your list faster, specifically those who can complement your offer. For example, I asked my good friend Becca of the Happy Ever Crafter to look into the freebie and what she thinks about it. She came back to me and told me, "I cannot believe you're offering it for free." And then she shared that freebie to her then 90,000 followers on Instagram. That resulted to an additional 3,000 people following me on Instagram and over 1,000 of them downloading my freebie. Some ended up buying my course and one even ended up in my VIP coaching. 3. Help, don't pitch. The most common mistake people do is they immediately resort to asking favors. Don't do that. Instead, ask for their opinion about your freebie or ask for feedback and if they find it helpful. Sometimes they'll even offer to share it with their audience. Sometimes they won't, and that's okay. But if they do, be thankful and ask if they can at least provide a testimonial that you can share along with a freebie. Know that not everyone you reach out to will say yes, and you don't have to feel bad about it. Move on to the next one and focus on list building instead of having a pity party. And now that you're getting the eyeballs and getting people on your list, let's get to step number 3 on how I made $120,000 on my first launch, and that is to nurture your audience. Don't keep people waiting. Make sure that when they get to your email list, they are being nurtured. And by nurture, I mean they're getting consistent value right after they download their freebie. So they're not just waiting for a promotion to come. By nurturing your audience, you're keeping them warm and excited about your next email, and they'll keep opening them even more. In my case, I did a series of 10 emails scheduled to be sent in a span of 2 weeks, so they'll continue to get value from me. With the 12 blog posts written about lettering, I repurposed those and directed people on my list to my blog post. It gave them additional information about lettering and increased their desire to learn it even more. The lesson I learned from nurturing my audience is that you cannot give too much. People often restrict the information they give on a freebie because they fear they will overgive or overshare. Thing is, there's so much to learn and you won't be able to teach everyone everything in one freebie. So feel free to share your best stuff so they'll keep coming back for more. My best tip to nurture your audience? Use what you already have. If you have an existing blog posts or articles or content that did well or even videos that might help your audience, use them to create an email that offers value and direct people to your helpful content. You don't have to recreate everything. Repurpose any existing content that you think provides value to your audience. Step number 4, pre-sell your course idea. When you've nurtured your audience well enough, going into this step will be a lot easier and is very important. While not many people do this, I highly recommend you do because it has helped me validate whether my course will do well or not. I'm a big fan of working smarter, not harder, and I didn't want to spend so much time working on a course that I have no idea whether it will sell or not. So when my email list reached 8,000 people about 3 months since I started growing it, I pre-sold the idea of a lettering course to my list and sold it to them for $297. I wasn't expecting much from it actually because it was my first time, but I'm ready for it to flop. But the opposite actually happened. Over 70 people bought the course and I made $21,000 in 4 days. I've never made that much money in such a short time. I was over the moon and told my husband that we're going to be making a course because I had already sold it. What really helped at this point is my email list, and I know I've been telling you this over and over, but it bears repeating. Focus on building your email list fast. It took me 3 months to grow my list to 8,000 people using both paid and organic traffic. However, these days you can do it a lot faster even if you're only using organic traffic. Why? Because people are more aware of online education and information products. The online course industry is predicted to grow to $350 billion by 2025. That means more and more people are looking for online courses. Share your knowledge with the world and get paid for it. And here's what I learned from pre-selling my course idea. Just start. You'll never be ready no matter how long you prepare for everything. Your actions are the only thing that's going to help you get to where you want to be. And you don't have to get the course done either before selling it. Start with an idea and sell it first before creating an entire course. You don't want to spend time, money, and energy on something you don't know if people will even like. So now that I know for sure I have people who are expecting a course from me, I need to get to work and create one. And because it will take a while for me to build the course, the step number 5 is crucial in making sure I'll get more sales from when the course is officially launched. It's called pre-launch. Just because you already have people enrolled in your course doesn't mean you'll stop promoting it. As I was building my course, I made a point to let people know that I'm creating a lettering course and it's coming in about 3 months. I even created more content about hand lettering, and sometimes I would even share bits and pieces of what's going on inside the course, and I will include it in my content. This helped build hype and anticipation leading to the big launch. At the same time, my content helped me get more people to join my list, so it grew from 8,000 to 14,000 right before we officially launched the course. Here are 3 things I did during my pre-launch. 1. Continue building my list. Ramp up on growing your list as you get closer to the launch. The more people you have on your list, the better, because typically 1 to 3% of the people in your list will buy the course. And while it's not impossible to sell to a small audience, it's even better to sell to a larger one that guarantees higher chances of success. 2. Ramp up your content creation. Share your course progress behind the scenes and create as many content related to the course as you can. It might appear exhausting, but remember, you're doing this for the first time, so it will always look harder. Over time, you'll learn how to do it better and faster. 3. Share. Don't get tired of sharing your content to as many people as possible. Get on podcasts, offer to train other people's audience, do guest blog posts, find ways to increase your online visibility. By the way, if you want a copy of everything I'm sharing in this video, I created a PDF version of this 7-step strategy where I talk about all the steps I did to make $120,000 on my first course launch. It includes everything I learned in the process, and I included all the action items you need to do in each step so you'll know exactly what to do for your first launch or your next launch. Link to the guide is in the description below, so go grab it. So far, we've covered Step 1, grow your audience. Step 2, build your email list. Step 3, nurture your audience. Step 4, pre-sell your course idea. Step 5, pre-launch the course. Step 6 made all the difference when I finished the course and officially launched it. I used this strategy with one of my clients too, and he made over 6 figures during his first course launch. Step number 6 is giving your clients the course experience. When I launched my lettering course, I didn't know how to run a challenge or do a webinar really well, so I settled for something that requires less work for me because I was already exhausted doing everything alone. Then, I remembered I already have the course, so I might as well use some of the contents that are in the course and give people a taste of what's inside. So I invited everyone to attend my 5-day lettering challenge where I gave them access to the best lessons I have in the program. It was the best decision I have ever made during this launch. Giving the course experience allowed more people to see how the course is run, what it feels to be inside the course. They get to see how I teach and what are the things they can learn. It increased their desire to join the course, and it created FOMO to those who are still thinking about getting in. And you might be asking, why would you give your best lessons, Mai? Are you nuts? Are you not supposed to keep that for those who are already enrolled in the course? Well, I probably was, but here's the thing. When you give people the best of what you have and you give it for free, they will always wonder, if this is how much I'm getting for free, what else could there be inside the paid program? That's exactly what that strategy did for my launch, and here's what I learned from it. Giving people limited access to some of the best lessons in the program was the best decision I've ever made. Not only was I able to help those who want to see what's inside, but I was also able to help those who might not be ready to enroll yet. Not everyone will buy your course the first time they see it. Some will buy it at a later date or the next launch. But serving them well now establishes the relationship, builds trust, and it increases their desire to learn from you even more. Step number 7, I added bonuses and a guarantee. I really wanted to make sure that enrolling in the course becomes a no-brainer. So I created bonuses that will support them while they're inside the program so they can get the results fast. The 30-day money-back guarantee made it even more appealing because that gave my clients the confidence that they're not risking anything. And here's what I learned from offering bonuses and a guarantee. The bonuses actually help people who are on the fence and wondering whether their investment is going to be worth it. The bonuses complementing the course actually got them to finally make the decision to join, while the guarantee gave them the assurance that it's not that risky, and if they don't like the course, they have 30 days to ask for a refund. It made the decision a lot easier for them. I initially thought that it's going to be a disaster because I offered a refund and people will just go ahead and buy, watch everything, and then ask for a refund. But quite the opposite happened. During this particular launch, out of more than 200 people who bought the course, only one person actually asked for a refund, so the percentage was very minimal. These are the things that worked well for me during my first launch, and while it may look amazing because I made $120,000 from a course that I'm launching for the first time, everything was far from perfect. There were things that didn't actually go as planned. We could have made a lot more from this launch, but of course, I made mistakes and made the wrong decisions. I'm going to talk about all of those mistakes in the next video, so be sure to watch it so you can avoid the same mistakes I did and have an even better product launch. I'll see you in the next one.